Last year at Pendine it absolutely poured with rain on the Saturday, and I drove the car down on the trailer with the cockpit wrapped in cling film, so I've made this as it's in September again this year. So I'm going to be cutting patterns out of Christmas paper. You can laugh at me trying to use a sewing machine, and I'm going to fit lift the dot fasteners all the way around the edge so it stays on even when being towed on a trailer in a high wind. So you're probably thinking, is it Christmas? What am I doing? Am I wrapping presents? Well, no. The plan is, if you remember some of the previous videos, this area of the cockpit here obviously gets wet if it's raining, so what you do is you can put a golfing umbrella over here, but it's often pretty windy at the beach, it tends to blow away. If you put a tarp over the whole thing when it's on the trailer, what happens is it has a tendency to try and rip itself off. So cunning plan is to make a pattern using Christmas paper, because that's what I've got, a nice roll, make like a hood which fits over here with like press studs like you'd have for a soft top car. Just that's roughly what I want. So I'm just going to reproduce that now in vinyl. So I can't remember how to use a sewing machine, so I'll get someone to teach me, and we'll make a shape roughly like that. So I got this. It's a tarpaulin, but it's from one of these places that does Land Rover spares and stuff like that. So it's a proper thick grade military style canvas, and it's just a regular tarp cover, but I can use that as my material. Yeah, this is my template, so we've just got to get 2 cuts, and then these I'm going to sew up there and there. So we've got to transfer that. These are my heavy duty sewing machine needles, and this is heavy duty polyester thread. What is it? Tech 69. That just means it's thick thread, and apparently 100% polyester is what you need. Right, there's a foot pedal on the floor. Now what's supposed to happen is when I press it, this wheel goes around and rubs this one. I think that's how it works. It should wind on. Right, there's the foot pedal. There's foot pedal. Press. Ooh, okay, something went wrong there. So this is a tensioner, it grips the thread. Right, so that goes under there. Right, then you go down. You're wondering how I know this. I just watched some videos, it's as simple as that. And then you go under there, and then you go up there. And then there's a tabby thing there, you've got to come under there, like that. Right, then you go, we'll soon see if I got this right. You go down there. Now, you've got to, there's something that's got to go under there. How does that work? Oh yeah, that's it. Right, down through there. Then you go through the needle. So we go through there. Pull a bit. I don't want to damage anything. Pull it through. You go under there. And then out the back. Apparently. And then you leave it like that. And then we take this bobbin off the top that you saw me wind earlier. This thing. Yeah, you put it in there. Then you go under there. And then you go under this springy tensionery thing. And then you put this in here with this prong sticking upwards, and you've got to bend this back to do it. That locks it. Jiggle it in there, let go. Now that, I think you just bring that up. Not sure what happens to that. I don't think you thread it up through there. I think you just bring it up somehow, because it should pick that up. Then I'll get a bit of test. I think I've got some test cloth here. Oh, something's happening. Something's happening. Well, it looks like a stitch. Let's lift the lever up. Hang on, where's the foot up? Pull it out. Is there a stitch on? Yes, look, the stitching on the back. So we need the biggest stitch length. I don't want all these fancy pattern stitches. I might just do 2 rows of this. Now, apparently that's a reverse button, so let's see. We've got to the end of this, so I need to reverse. You hold that down and you press the other way, and then you go like that. I think that's how you end a run, as it were. It's tempting to want to feed it through with your hands and pull it. If you do that, it really doesn't like it. You've got to let it pull itself through. Like this. I'm back in the unit. The weather's back to normal. It's raining again. Right, I'm going to fit and adjust the dot fastener, which is one of these, to this piece of canvas, just to show how you do it. So that's the There's the hem on the edge. What I found is you put a bit of wood in the vise with the grains sticking upwards. It then comes with this tool which has spikes and a hole cutter in it, and these two are closer together than these two. These go on the outside, so put it like that. Hang on, is that right? Yeah, put it like that. Hold it like that. With a big hammer, whack it so the prongs go into the grain of the wood. Like that. Then pull it out. And if you can see there how it's gone right through. So pull this out. So you've now got your holes cut and a centre hole. Sometimes you get kind of fluffy stuff around here. It's worth sort of trimming that off. So you put that there like that. You then get this end. You see it actually says on it, if you can see there, lift the dot. So well, I'm hoping this side goes on the outside. These two pins are closer together, the outside ones. You put them like that. So it's like that, you see. Then turn it over. Then you have a backing plate which isn't flat, it's actually curved slightly, and I think it's concave. So you put it on like that so the prongs stick through there. Now I've got to hammer those over, so I'm just using a little hammer. And there it is. And then in the kit you also get a bag of studs. So there's the studs. Now they screw into the bodywork of the car. These sort of have a nut on the back. You can get some where you tap your own hole and then you screw them in. You can see, if you can see there, if you can see that. See, it's got a point with then a ridge on it, and then the ridge is gripped by the little loopy spring thing in there. And they're better than press studs because they don't just snap on, they pop on, but they won't come off even if they're in a high wind unless you actually lift one end, which is why it's called lift the dot. You see there's the dot, that little mark. So you put your finger under it and you lift it like that, and then it'll pop off. So that's why I prefer them to press studs. So I've done the whole of the roof tarpaulin now, you see, with these at intervals all the way around. I already worked out the positions on the car. So the next thing is to put this on the car, and with a marker pen mark through the holes onto the bodywork where the pins need to go. Plans can change, but that's the plan at the moment. And I got this from J. Clark Marine. They're used on boat hoods, over the cockpit. They're made of stainless steel because they've got to be corrosion resistant for boats. So there you go. And this tool comes with it. You buy it all as a kit. I just got this off eBay. So you can see here we've put some of the studs in. They just bolt through, and so that's pretty well fixed. But if you lift the corner here, this tab, he said, yeah, it springs off. So you see there's the stud, and these are just 8mm. There's an 8mm. That will take an 8mm spanner, and then you can put an 8mm nut on the back. And so same with that one. So I've just put 3 more on the front. And I've been marking it with one of these special pens. I'll show you this pen. These special marker pens, they're used for marking through holes, so they're ideal for this sort of thing. So let's see if this works. Pull it down. Okay, so we've got 3 more here, so oh, I missed one. Alright, okay. Okay. Just have to do that one I missed now.